So you made a big mistake. You became a ranger. You thought it would be a good idea for grinding, but it turned out to be the worst idea of your life. It's good in grinding. Don't that's just a fact. It's one of the best classes for grinding. But rangers suck in PvP, and they've had this kind of like stigma around them that they're the worst PvP class in the game. Now, obviously, most of the players in this game are rangers because they're just good, but most of them suck at PvP, and most being 99% of the population. However, you can fix this with, I don't know, I'm too lazy to count, like 3 or 4 simple steps, and I'll show you how to do that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is look at is your skills. Skills are very simple. So you're going to want to have double slash, you're going to have max magic missile, I'll get to that in a little bit, and you'll want 3 out of 5 into regeneration. Now, regeneration is not the most useful skill. You can like drink beer or something, or literally any healing item in the game. You can also use like literally anything else, but it's a decent move. And the rest you want to put into magic missile. Now, one of the things that makes assassins harder to fight is because their ability to turn invisible. Now, you can counter this because magic missile kind of scouts out assassins and is a little bit like a aimbot. It doesn't do much damage, but it's good for telling you their location so you can avoid their attacks so you don't get killed. Now for your hunter skills, 1 into double jump, 10 into execute, and 10 into shumpo. Shumpo is going to be your most useful skill. These 2 skills here, arrow rain and ranger stance, they're useless. However, it's just Shampoo is just such a good move. It can be used literally in any situation. Now, you don't want to put any into Barrage, because most people have 50 dex as a ranger, and with 50 dex you already shoot 3 arrows, so it's kind of pointless. So, yeah, like fire 3 arrows at once. It's literally the same thing, except you can do it every single second. So, you want to put 10 into execute because it does lots of damage, and if you can kill people, it automatically recharges the skill, so there's no cooldown, which is really useful when fighting like slightly lower level mobs. And another thing about execute that I just learned today is that if you hit it, there's a little bit of a second where the hitbox stays even though the animation is gone. So the animation goes down, but there's still a hitbox, so you can turn around and you can hit an opponent behind you. It's a very useful thing, but it's hard to pull off. Then for your ranger book, 10 into hail of arrows, 10 into ranger stance. Don't put any into ricochet. Ricochet just sucks. But hail of arrows is going to be the second most useful skill because it's an AoE attack that hits multiple different locations at once, and it can be used in multiple different scenarios. And ranger stance, you're never going to use it in PvP, but it's good for fighting mobs in PvE. That's why you have it. But this is kind of fun just to see if someone's like standing still, then you can just like hit them or something. Or against bad assassins, you can just, when they go invisible, they're going to be walking straight at you, so you just shoot them straight at you and they die. And that's just how it works. So here's part 2. So the second most useful, the first most useful thing actually, is movement. You can't die if you're never hit. That's just the one law of Ranger. You can't die if you're never hit. If you never hit, then there's no problems. So as long as you're constantly moving and doing really weird movements, your opponent can never hit you, thus meaning you can never die. So how can you accomplish this, you might ask? Because I suck at moving. I'm so bad at moving. I can't press WASD and space at random times. I'm the worst. I can't even move my fingers, you might ask. However, there's a simple fix. Literally just jump. literally any direction, constantly, just move and move. Now you can use an aviator cap to accomplish this, and to give you more stamina so you can fight longer. And you can just move around, and make sure you use your jump a lot and shump a lot, because it lets you move around a lot. Now, however, and double jump is also really useful because nothing can hit you in the air. So as long as you're in the air, you're almost invincible. Now, moving on, you might ask yourself now, well, if I'm never hit, I can never attack, but I'm constantly moving, I can never attack the opponent. That's meaning the duel goes on forever. Now there's the thing that takes like some actual intelligence, which most of the Vesteria community doesn't have. You need to notice when your opponent attacks you, and you need to counter it with like Shunpo, Execute, or Hail of Arrows. Now each of these moves can be used in different situations. Now let's say we have player A, which is me, and player B, which is a really angry berserker. The angry berserker is really mad because they got hit by a ranger. Now that angry berserker is going to hit the ground right in front of me, but I'm going to avoid it because I jumped up. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to shunpo in, because berserkers and other knights and paladins, they all have secondary moves that can be used after ground slam, which can kill you just as quickly as ground slam. So you want to get in there and get out as fast as possible. Now let's say you're fighting, say, an assassin. This assassin, in this case, just use Shadow Flurry. You avoided this Shadow Flurry because you're good at the game. However, this assassin, after using Shadow Flurry, still is in a stun lock almost, because abilities take time to be cast, and you're going to be stuck in the same spot. This is the same reason why Ranger Stance sucks, because it takes a while to load up, a while to cancel out. It's the same reason. So what you're going to do there is you're going to want to use Hail of Arrows, or whatever it's called. This will kill them because it's a huge area, and they'll die almost instantly because they have low health just like you. Now, finally, what else are there? Mages. Mages are the weird ones. For mages, you're going to want triple arrow. You're also going to want defense, and you're also going to want. That's pretty much it. So you're going to want to like stand back, hit them with arrows, because whenever they use things like magic bombs and things like that, it's going to take a long time for them to hit you. So as long as you stay back, out of their way, then you'll never get hit. And if they do fire magic bomb at you, you can cancel out, and you can jump around and then shunpo them in their face and instantly kill them. Now, that's pretty much all the offensive tactics. So, let's move on to the final thing. So the final thing would be a bit like armor. So what armor is good for a ranger for PvP? Now, Torul's Talon is the best dagger for rangers in PvP. Octophides Ballista is also really good in PvP. Mine has 10% crit because I'm cool, but it's okay if yours doesn't have it. Just don't suck at the game. Now, here's the thing. You can use multiple different things here. You can use ranging gear, even though it doesn't help much, it just looks cool. You can use Bratty Vest, even though it doesn't help much, it looks cool. But personally, Shan's Skulker Vest is the best vest in the game for rangers. And for headgear, you can also use multiple different things. You can use the Ruby Halo, which gives you extra health, which means you can tank maybe one attack at most. Or you can have, I like the Bandit Mask because it looks nice, and it just gives me 35 dex. It's not any number I'm trying to hit in particular, but it just looks nice. And Aviator Cap is also a plausible option, because it gives you extra stamina so you can jump around for longer without having to recharge and stand still and having the risk of being killed. Mogul Mask is also good. Literally any helmet is good, as long as it's not, I don't know, a negative health helmet or something. I don't know. Don't use the Snell helm. That's probably the only thing. And also another thing is the Tide Hunter mask. It's gotten by trading in 30 Hammerhead Sharks and 1 Ruby Eye at Port Fidelio, and it makes your Shumpo a giant shark. Now, however, it may look cool. It is really good, but it's not the best. You can still do well with without it. As well, what else is there? Oh, boots. Boots is also another thing. I can suggest either using Ravager boots, Yeti fur boots. No, yeah, and Sand Skulker boots. They're all really good. They all do their job. They're all decent at the end of the day. You can still win a duel with any of the boots. And that's pretty much it. Now for stat builds. Now if you want to be the ultimate ranger, you're going to want 10 dex and rest into strength for duels. If you want to be a mix of a PvE and a PvP ranger, you're going to want 50 dex, which is found by using the Sand Skulker mask, and 25 dex, and you get the crit chance and the greed and everything, and you also get the strength. Now, finally, what you're going to want is, and that's pretty much, yeah, actually, I think that's it. So, essentially, with PvP as a ranger, you're going to want to be extra careful, make sure you're not hit, and so you don't die. But other than that, just do what, like, you feel best. Now, one thing you can learn how to move is, like, say, for example, you're just walking up this hill, right? And you can just, like, try to move quickly. It's kind of weird, but like, move quickly and don't be an idiot. So for example, say we reset here. Oh, and that's another thing. If you die as a ranger, you're basically screwed. Your screen is going to be absolutely dead. So don't die, and you won't have any problems. It's just the simplest thing. Don't get hit, don't die, and don't have the blue screen. Now, okay, so we're down in Redwood Pass, right? This is one of probably the best places in the game to train. That's not actually fighting other people and getting experience that way. But you can just run around, and you see, oh, I missed that. That wasn't really nice. So you just train by shuntoing through the baby yetis while trying to move as fast as possible. Or you can also do that. Wait, how did it survive that? You saw that. I hate it. Okay, whatever. So you just want to move as fast as possible and kill baby yetis, and that's how you learn how to PvP. Now, I'm gonna probably insert like a video or whatever of me fighting as a ranger, but it's not necessarily how you should always fight. I have a playstyle which makes me more aggressive, but that's pretty much it, yeah. So hope you enjoyed, hope you don't suck at PvP anymore on the ranger, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Bye.